are, and here we go. Game Notes Daily back. Another episode. G just comes in, a little how's she going? He takes off. He's behind the scenes. He's got to man the chat. Got my boy Merles here after a weekend and some crazy hockey. I mean, keeping track too. This morning, G, I can't believe it. Canada drops to Norway in a shootout at the Worlds. If you listen to the podcast, Spit and Chicklets dropped today as well. I was lacrosse dad this weekend, all day Sunday in a little town in Ohio. We were there all day. I don't know what you got up to. I seen you were continuing your workouts. You're buzzing right now.
Well, yeah, I got injured today though. I went out today. I'm on 2-a-days. Vegas
Hamstring?
went up 2-0. No, hip and back. I was kind of cleaning up all these little stones they put around on the ice here. They just put stones out everywhere when you're walking around. So we had a cleanup day yesterday, and I was shoveling these heavy rocks, and I think it threw me off. So I went for my normal run today in the morning, and I came up limping. So I'm on the DL. Speaking of that Canada game, brutal. I took Canada over, so that was a loss. And I also had Fantilli to score a goal. My big prospect, he takes a 5-minute major, gets tossed from the game. So that was brutal.
I see someone in the chat saying Norway shootout moves. Good God. Yeah, these guys were dangling. They were dangling. Unbelievable dangle goals in the shootout. But we might as well get into it, Merles. You know what to do with that score bet. You know where we're going with this.
We're talking Canada. We're talking Ontario. We got the #1 sports book for hockey bettors. It's TheScore Bet. We have daily specials from all the Chicklets crew. We move the odds up to make it even better for the Chicklets Nation. But remember, always bet responsibly. 18 plus, Ontario only. If you got a gambling problem, call Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600. What do you got going, Army? What do you got?
That's right. Everything presented by ScoreBet. If you want to get in the chat, you want to be interactive with us on this, you've got to head to Chicklets YouTube page. You've got to click subscribe for us. You've got to get on there to get active. We've got, I know I was talking to Singsy too. Singsy says everyone's just collaborating in the chat. And we'll get to the Veleno 5 games that we just saw pop up. Thank you for popping that in there. People there's been relationships formed in the chat, and there's people talking now on the side. So we're creating this whole new universe, Merles.
Yeah, I see it all the time. All these IHF picks, they're all making their parlays, mixing it up, keeping talk during the days. Like some of these morning stuff I couldn't really follow the games too much this morning. I had the kid all day, but over the weekend I was following the games and following everyone's picks. It's so much fun. It's good hockey. It's fun hockey. This World Championship. So
we need a Game Notes Daily party in Las Vegas at the Craps table.
Ooh. Oh yeah, a little meet
It's
up.
looking
Stanley
good.
Cup
It's
final.
looking good.
See you there.
Oh dang,
Knock
we could
on
do
wood.
that. Is that nerdy to do a meetup, like a meetup? I always see other people do these meetups. Is that nerdy?
We do it every week for Chicklets.
Yeah, I know. I know we do like appearances and different things, like events, but like just doing like a meetup, a standard meetup. Is that cool? I don't know.
I think a meetup with the Chicklets Game Notes chat would be the best night of your
That
life.
would be unreal. I would
be
love to see
unbelievable.
these people. I'd love to see these people. I'd feel like you know them already. The chat is always electric. Once again, subscribe to the YouTube page. Get on the YouTube page and get on the show there so we can see what you have to say. You can interact with us. G's awesome at flashing you up on the screen if you have anything good to say. If not, I just continuously stare at it and review it while we do this show. So yeah, I think first of all, let's stay with the World Championships, boys. I know, like you said, Merles, lots of chatter. People are sharing their picks big time, and they're crushed. It seems like everyone's crushing. I'm sure Canada was a big letdown this morning for a lot of people's picks, but it seems like people are crushing the Worlds right now.
Yeah, U.S. is rolling. Sweden is rolling. And this U.S. roster came out as like, it's a lot of young kids, a lot of college kids, but they're playing hard. They beat France 9-0 yesterday.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen in those
dummying.
Ones.
So it's coming down. The next rounds is when it gets fun. The elimination games are all moving on now. If you look right now, you got U.S., Sweden, Finland, and probably Germany are going to move on from the one bracket. So you're getting all the good teams from there.
Yeah, and Germany's dusting people too. Who'd they dust there?
Yeah, we were riding them. I just saw a guy in there chirping in my chat. We were hitting Germany there a couple in a row. I know the wit went heavy on one. So he owes me a steak dinner next time I see him.
Hell yeah, he does. So some big games, though, Merles, and first time. Do we want to go to the NHL or do you want some other news?
Yeah,
do you want to
touch on Velino? Do you want to touch on that
Let's touch on
Velino?
Velino. Let's stay with Joe Velino.
Yeah,
Detroit Red Wings,
that's
Team
just
Canada, skate stomp Merles right on his leg. Insane.
That's absolutely insane.
Have you guys ever seen something like that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, where?
Simon on the island.
Oh yeah,
Chris Simon. I believe he stomped on Ruutu.
I remember that.
Ruutu's leg. It was like the weirdest thing. He just stomped on him. And I forget how many games he got for that. Someone could probably find that, maybe G. But I was playing in Pittsburgh at the time when he did that to Ruutu, like stomped on him. It was crazy. So I don't know. Like I obviously Chris Simon's a different player than Joe Veleno, but it just nonetheless it was crazy. And then sure enough, like right, Evander Kane chimes in. That's why fighting's left in the game. Like he had lots to say about his injury too. That was.
What do you guys think?
Traumatic.
How many games do you think he got? It's
Was
a lot.
it 20?
40?
Hey, right in the middle, 30.
30 games for stomping on his leg. Yeah, I remember it was like massive. It was,
I kind of remember. Did he get slashed in the face, or did Simon slash somebody in the face too? Didn't he do something like that? I feel like that was in the island too.
Yeah,
Or something. I don't know.
There was a few incidences leading to this. This is what we played through. This is why Merles and I both blew our shoulders out. This is why we had surgeries.
That the video wasn't HD, so you couldn't go back and look at it. You could. There was one ref on the ice, and there was a little guy up in the last row with a VHS camera like this watching it, so you could get away with everything.
Yeah, it was nuts then. But 5 games for Veleno for that one at Worlds. I saw also there was a story you sent to us in the East Coast League. Toledo Walleye had to sleep at the rink. Did you see that?
Yeah.
ECHL?
Yeah, I'll pull up that tweet now, boys.
Yeah, pop it in there for us so people can see it. But it's nuts. Like some of the things these guys go through, like the guys that love hockey probably the most in the world that are just banging around down there for a few $100 a week. It's crazy. And then I guess there was they said there was mouse droppings and bed bugs at the hotel they were at. So they took off and they had to sleep at the rink. I mean, that's just incredible what goes on. Someone says, free Veleno, go Wings. Dylan. Come on, Dylan. He stomped on a guy's leg. Come on. What do you think? Jesus. You ever had anything like that, Merles? Any bad hotel stops?
I took a really dirty hit in Russia. I was down on I had just cut to the net, got knocked down. I was on my knees facing the boards. The whistle had blown, and I was kind of just cruising into the wall. And this dude came and hit me from behind and smacked my head right off where the glass and this meet.
The dasher.
Yeah, the dasher, and dummied me. He got 10-game suspension and lost $500,000 in fines. It was wild, and I don't know. They said I didn't have a concussion, but I somehow got up. Here it is.
G got it. I can confirm Walleye had to sleep at the arena last night after having to move out of an Idaho hotel that a source said had bed bugs and mouse droppings. It was the most East Coast League thing I've ever been a part of, the source said.
That's after losing 3-0 to go down 2-0 in the series, too.
Holy shit. That is the most East Coast thing I've ever heard also. That's so East Coast League. You ever stayed in any bad places like that, Merles? You ever get caught, college? You guys stay at okay hotels, I imagine.
Yeah, college always good spot. Just on my own a couple of times. I remember going up to Lake George for a Memorial Day weekend. I wasn't going to go, and then at the end we're like, oh yeah, we got to go. It was a dump. And then a lot of them in this one town, Neftahimik in Russia. They only have one hotel in the whole place. It was brutal. No, I don't know if there's bed bugs or anything, but I couldn't sleep on my bed. The springs were broken, so it was all up and down like this. So we would take our mattresses off the bed and just lay them on the floor, and we slept like that for 2 nights. It was a rough.
You got to get creative. Scene. I remember I was going. Shout out or name drop to Crosby's Cup Party out in Halifax. It's hard to get there, but I went into New York, and I think I was at LaGuardia. Flight got canceled. I'm heading up to Eastern Canada. Flight got canceled. I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? No hotels. Couldn't get a hotel. It was just one of those times. It's crazy. So it's either I sleep at that greaseball airport, which by the way, I think is nicer now. They think they renovated a lot of it, but still, it's LaGuardia. And my wife's like, I got you a hotel. It's a mile from the airport. You can go stay there. Your flight the next morning. She helping me coordinate. I went to this hotel, buddy. I slept with my clothes on top of the bed, and I'm not like a germ, but it was one of those rent by the hour hotel greaseball spots. Slept on top of the sheets with only channels was like porn. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing here? It was the greasiest place I've ever been at in my life.
Hey, in the early days of Chicklets, me and RA had to, we wanted to go to the Stanley Cup final that was in Nashville, but Barstool didn't have the money that it has now. So basically we were told, no, you can't go. So me and RA funded our own trip to Nashville, and the pod wasn't making a ton of money at the time, so we both had separate jobs and stuff. So me and him ended up staying in the same hotel room together. This absolute dump, like not even in downtown Nashville, like way over the river in like the hood of Nashville. And I slept on the floor because RA got the bed. And I just ended up, I just remember just being like curled up in the corner, just on this gross floor, being like, oh my God, what is this? This better fucking pay off in a few years.
Was it a hotel you drove up and parked in front of, one of those ones with like the outside doors, like No Country for Old Men?
Motel.
Oh,
I
yeah,
call that a
100%
motel.
like that.
It was
Definitely like that.
Yeah, I stayed in those before. After every season, I would drive home back to Saskatoon from out east here, and it's like a 2.5 day bomber straight. But when I got tired, I would just any hotel right on the side of the highway. Oh, those ones are greasy too. So shout out to the Toledo Walleye. Got put in a tough spot. Had to sleep at the rink. They're still banging away trying to get the job done. Merles, we have some Memorial Cup.
Got all the teams. They're in.
It's
Teams
all
are
set up.
secured.
Congrats to the Seattle Thunderbirds in the West, Peterborough Petes in Ontario, Quebec Ramparts, who we kind of had a thought they were ranked number one much of the year. And then the Kamloops Blazers, the host team, will be all set to go for the Memorial Cup. I'd love to go to that. I'm going to talk to Rex here in town. He's part owner of the team. I know he's heading down here right away to go there because it's a big festival, Merles. It's awesome. So it's like Frozen 4 pretty much. But it's like a 12-day, it's like 10-day, 12-day hang around and a massive party for these little junior towns to put it on. So congrats to those teams, though. Yeah. Who are you picking out of there? Do we get odds on any of that?
I played Peterborough Pete's coach is Rob Wilson. He was my coach in Germany, and I got a great story about him. So it was funny. They used to bag skate me and Danny Heatley together. They thought we were out of shape because we were just like old, big guys. Like, we just know how to score. Just leave us alone. But they wanted to bag skate us. So I thought that was always funny. And we had our European break, so I went to Barcelona for 4 days. And yeah, I came back a little heavy, and I had sushi dinner the night before, so I was retaining the water. So they get us on the scale before it's been 4 days off. They get us on the scale in the skate, and I'm heavy. I'm probably 8-9 pounds heavy, and I'm like, relax, guys. Like, this is what happens when I go on these trips. I had sushi. It's a lot of water. I'm like, after practice, I'll lose 9-10 pounds. I promise you. And they were so mad. Rob was so mad. So I go out and I skate, and I actually went a little harder, like to make sure I would lose the weight, but I sweat so much, I knew it was no problem. So we come off afterwards. I'm like, let's go, Rob, come here, I'll show you the scale. And I stand there, and I lost 10 pounds. He couldn't believe it. He's like, get off. He's like, get off and strip down. He's like, you're pulling some sort of trick. So I get off.
What, do you think you have like helium in your butt?
Yeah, like I got strings up, and he's like, he makes me get off. I swear to God, there's 4 or 5 guys there watching it. It was the most craziest thing. So I get back on again, and he's like, he couldn't understand it. He was so mad. But he was a good coach. He was an interesting coach, and he was a tough guy when he played. And he's in charge of Peterborough, so he's got them playing the right way. And congrats to them. The Seattle team you guys talked about on Chicklets, 7 first-rounders.
7
confirmed.
first-rounders. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and Quebec, is Patrick Waugh still the coach in Quebec?
Yep.
He is.
Yeah. It's a cool
G,
little
did you tweet
Memorial
out
Cup.
As soon as they won? I think G's tweet just to stir it up. Yeah, he's
Stir
a
in the
beauty.
pot.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh, the new head coach of the New York Rangers. As soon as
Well, I feel like I'm pretty dialed into Rangers Twitter, just living here in New York now, and they're calling for it. They want him. I don't know if it's because Lafreniere, maybe they think he can get him going, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think Patty Waugh in New York would be awesome.
Well, there's no question, right? It's a younger guy's game, and he's had success with his teams in Quebec. Actually, shout out to those guys. I forget those guys' names. It's too bad. I could look it up really easy. Those Maritimes kids that got me tickets when I was at the Quebec Pee Wee tournament. We went to a Ramparts game, and those guys got me and the whole family tickets. So they're going, it's like hockey gods. It's karma, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You do a good deed, you get rewarded, and they're heading to the dance to the Memorial Cup. So
Army, what's the WHL like? Because like I've seen a lot of QMJHL games just being in the Northeast here, and then I've been to an OHL game. But like, do they pack the arenas in the WHL?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like big arenas. Like, how big are we talking? Like 15,000, 10,000.
Well, some of them obviously have bigger arenas. Some of them have 6,000 to 8,000 arenas, like just nice junior buildings. Probably close to what's the Coyotes playing at? What's that ring? 5,500?
4,500.
I think it's more than that. It's more than that. So for example, like the Hitmen play in the Saddle Dome. And if they get going, it gets, they pack that place in some rivalry games, some good weekend games. And
Are they like the London Knights of the WHL? Like they're the big dogs?
I don't know who would be. I would say, geez, that's tough to say. Brandon Wheat Kings have had a good reputation of decent success for a number of years. Some of these franchises have been around just so long, though. It's just incredible. The Regina Pats traditionally have been around for like over 100 years too. Like it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I worked the Memorial Cup out there. They were the host team at like the 100-year anniversary. So
where Bedard played, right?
Where Bedard played. Yep, that's correct. So some of these teams have good size. They're like perfect size rinks, and the town really supports these guys. So it's awesome. It's fun to cover. It's fun to follow, and the Memorial Cup's just like the pinnacle of it because it's like one little town or junior city, comes together with volunteers out the ass. They have the beer gardens, they have live entertainment, they have like it's all rolled out for this massive like showcase of their town. And people come like the Frozen Four from all over the place, even if their teams aren't in it, to come and enjoy this tournament. So Kamloops, good luck. I'm a Western guy. Let's go Seattle. Let's go Kamloops. Pull it together, get it done for the boys. Merle, stay on that. We got to know who a favorite is going into this. I don't know who. I don't know.
I don't have odds on this, but
I'll be pulling for Kamloops.
I got the craziest. Speaking of odds, I got the craziest screenshot of odds sent to me I think I've ever seen in my gambling career.
Wait, what?
Who will be the next coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs? And let's see. They got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 13 times 3. What's that? 39. There's 39 options. First option's Joel Quenneville. Second option, Spencer Carberry, then Gerard Gallant, blah, blah, blah. Guess who the last option is at 151 to 1?
Paul Bissonnette.
The Biz Nasty.
Paul Bissonnette is on here.
Let's go.
151 to 1 is a legit site here. This guy sent me. Unbelievable. So,
I love if Biz got in there and then like he let us in to like hear his conversations trying to wheel and deal with other GMs. That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, this was for coach. No, this one was for coach.
Oh, it was just for the head coach.
I feel like the GM could be like that would be closer to happen than a coach.
Can you imagine Biz coaching?
I have seen it at the Chicklets Cup. He's nuts. I had to quit. I quit the Big Deal Selects because he was nuts.
If he was anything like he does color for the NYPD FDNY game, he'd be really intense. He'd be absolutely super intense. Hey, G, what's the poll at that you posted the other day for GM? Who would be a GM first, Witt or Biz?
It was at, last I checked.
How many votes, too?
It was at, I believe, 60 Witt, 40 Biz, and I believe there's around 15,000 votes.
Wow, that's a lot. So it's still got a few more hours of that till tonight. You posted that last night, right? So
yep, and then we also posted another poll. Will Rear Admiral wake up in time for game notes today? Yes is 6%, no is 30%, and 34% of people have said he still hasn't gone to sleep yet.
Wow. Has he? So we want to get RA on today, and last night he spent a lot of time, texting us and be like, hey, if you guys need me, like, let me know. If you guys need me, Merles, let me know. I heard it. G was like, yeah, okay. And then the text went out this morning.
I said, if you're up in time, RA, we'd be happy to have you on. And then
he's like, I was going to come on yet last week, but I had a doctor's appointment. He had something. And I'm like, oh, you got to be available. You got to be available.
He is Florida's #1 super fan now that he has his Bruins are out and his future in.
Yeah. We got to get Scorebet to throw together some rankings for their coaching, Merles. You got to put that together with our guys.
Speaking of Florida, I'm after the week. I don't know who to take in the Conn Smythe. I put that out there. Can it be shared, Kachuk or Bob? I don't know who to take.
Can be in 2023. They'll share.
Yeah. So it's just I'm sitting there watching that game the one night, and I'm like, oh, Bob, I know he's not getting scored on.
Yeah.
Like when I'm rewatching the game, I'm like, he is not getting scored on. Kachuk's quiet. I'm like, all right, Bob's my Conn Smythe. Bob's got it.
Bob's been
boom.
so,
Then all of a sudden, Kachuk scores the game winner again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I know nothing. So
when you score that many clutch goals, and I know Bob's been a big story, but I just don't know how you can, judge
he's already
it.
got
Plus,
3 overtime goals, I think, which is ties the record in the
it's
playoff
incredible
with Corey
too.
Perry.
Sneaky Conn Smythe might be Barkov, Jans' guy, Barkey, because
real sneaky.
Biz read off a tweet from Jackie Redmond that was like how good Barkov's been in this, and if he can get going offensively, he's been a little bit quiet, but he's starting to get it going, and his line's been so good. But like his play, he's been on the ice, I think, for 1 goal against is the
35-1.
yeah, and he's just shut down. He's shut down.
He would have to have a monster next 2 games and a monster final to just overtake. And Bob they get into some shootouts. Yeah, but that's 35-1 is still pretty decent. Like you said, he is running that team, and that's what I know. Witt was talking about. He's a little quiet in that Boston series, but he was busy shutting down that all those weapons they had.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, this is super interesting, just because. I mean, all these teams are so close, I think, too, right? So you put people head to head. You try to, guess who's going Conn Smythe, Merles. I think it's just like it is for some of these series. I think it's
4 for 4 Murley specials. Don't remind me, Kevin. Remember I called you the other night. Had you put the draw lay in for me?
Yeah,
that was. If I just waited one day, had you do it, we'd be rolling in it.
What are the odds for a draw tonight?
Usually it's around plus 320. I bet you they're starting to move him. It's getting too close. I'll look it up right now. Regular time. Plus 300. Still getting good odds on that. Plus 300 on the score bet. How do you not sprinkle that? Look for 5 in a row. But I think I don't want to. Do we get to my pick early now? We want to get on these picks for this game.
Yeah, let's get
tonight.
on it. Let's get on it, buddy.
I am off. I made the video yesterday. The Hurricanes got thrown into the workout gear. I took my Hurricanes hat. I'm done with them. I'm on Florida. I think Florida's going to get it done. They're just playing with all the confidence. I feel like that was the Canes, all they had last game. I'm taking Florida minus 1.5 even, plus 220. So I'm going against the draws. I'm taking minus 1.5. I'm going to see Florida pull away 4-1 tonight.
You know what? I'm going the opposite of you. I don't know why. Here's my reasoning.
At least one of us will win.
Canes money line. I like that. I like it because I think Florida up 2-0 now. Couple overtime victories. They come home. I feel like they just human nature. They might this game. They take a little breath. They go, okay, we're comfy. We're home. Big Walt's got steaks on the barbecue, the other day. They're just chilling. And I just think that it's time to let it. What was that? Bob over 30.5? Yep. There it is.
Throw everything at him tonight?
Yep. Kitchen sink is coming at Bob, 100%. Yeah. Mixer fully involved right
Mixer
here.
It's a Conn Smythe. It's unbelievable. Did you see Stevenson last night? It was 5-on-3. He just threw it in there just off the guy's skate for fun, before Stoner scored.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know if anyone else thinks along my lines of the human nature, taking a breath. I know it's, conference finals and everything, but, they get home, they're up comfortably. I think this is when they go to work. A good question. I answered that question the other day. Ranta over Anderson.
I saw that coming. Anderson's in tonight, though, in other news, but I saw that coming. Why wouldn't you? You've played, he played 7 periods. And
my thinking is, wouldn't
so
you want
great at home.
Shot at it? Wouldn't you want another shot to come back and get a win? I think that's the competitive nature of most guys, but I give them credit for sticking to like their pattern.
Rant is great at home. His record at home was unbelievable, but I don't think Anderson is the most well-conditioned goalie ever. I know I played against him when he was younger over here. He was never in like great shape, so I don't know if he might have looked tired or had some cramps, so that went into the decision. We'll never know probably, but I didn't mind that call. Ranta was good.
Yeah, biggest game of the year for Carolina. Ranta played well. You're right. I thought in that game. Carolina came out though. What were the shots, Merles? Early, it was.
I didn't think it was real. I'm like, it was 19-3 at one
Yeah.
point. I'm like, are they? You know how like in juniors teams would mess with you on the clock just to try to get in
Yeah.
your head that you're getting dominated. I'm like, are they doing that?
Yeah.
Didn't seem real that it could have been that big.
Yeah, it was. It was. They just weren't able to get the next one. I mean, then the waved off OT challenge goals that were gone, and Florida just kept them around. They hung around, and then they got to their game and were able to keep it close and got it done. So this is a crazy series.
Guys, I have someone who wants to stop in and give some picks here.
Let's go.
Yes.
We need their picks.
Who we got? Who do we got?
Oh,
Chief.
Let's
What's up, boys?
go.
Finally off the bender from celebrating Bedard. Nice.
Bedard, Forest. It was a wedding weekend. Like
Everything's coming up, Chief. I saw your tweet.
It's been the best week stretch of my. I could live in May 2023 forever. Like this has been the best month. How are you boys doing?
Good.
we're good.
Vegas, I'm on. I'm winning some money on Vegas. I was riding my Carolina Hurricanes, but I'm off them tonight. I'm back. I'm going on Florida, and what do you got? Talk to us.
Vegas, big Barstool guys. Alec Martinez, big PMT guy, big Chicklets guy. So my friend is the video coach there, and he's like sending me texts from the boys being like, oh yeah, like they weren't hyping us up enough. So I feel like everybody's on Vegas now. So,
Yeah, because we don't want to mush it because we're going there for the final. So we're trying not to talk too much about Vegas because we want to make sure we get there in a couple weeks.
That would be the spot. The Chicklets Cup in Vegas was like an incredible weekend. So
and I know like we said on Chicklets episode that just dropped today that like Vegas has to be like the favorite right now out of these four teams. You look at it, I mean, what do you say about the depth, scoring that they've had, the size, the physicality, the speed, shot blocking? They're getting goaltending. Like, I mean,
they got everything, and and like Eichel's coming to play. Like Mark Stone is always going to do the Mark Stone stuff, all the little things. Like he's getting sticks in lanes. Like he's to me like I've had like a man crush on Mark Stone. I feel like for a decade now. And it's like I love still seeing him like do like he kind of made that the game winner happen the other night. I think that was game one where it was just like he was great on the forecheck and they turn it over and bang, it's in the net. So so I'm loving Vegas, but I'm with you too. So I think I'm gonna go out. So maybe I'll see you guys there. So I think if they go to the finals, I'm gonna make a little trip depending on the schedule. And but I'm. let's
always good to have another guy out there in case I need to double down on a hand. I need to run out of cash. Another guy I know out there to help me out.
You better bring Whit for that.
So Chief, I was saying before you jumped on that I think Florida tonight will take a breath. I think they'll kind of, okay, we got two on the road, we're home. It's human nature possibly. I think Canes get the job done tonight. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy 3 games in a row with the Canes. What the hell am I doing when you watch this Florida team? But that's my feeling. What's your feeling on this game tonight?
I think there's going to be more goals in it. So I think I'm going over in this game. So
it's 5.5, right?
Yeah. So I think we'll get to 6 goals. And I'm with you too. It's not like Florida has been dominating. It's every game, conference final, every game goes overtime. So it is like a coin flip situation. You would think that Rod the Bod's going to have them ready to go, backs against the wall, just to pull one out here. So make that series, because it's been a tight series. It would be insane to have a series this tight go 3-0. It just feels incomprehensible to me. So I'm with you on Carolina for that one. And then it's like I'm gonna try to parlay a couple guys to get points. I like the way Aho's going, and just see what we can find there for Carolina. I think I'm gonna do Aho to get a point and maybe Slavin to get a point too, and parlay those. I love those same game point parlays. So if you just pick out a couple guys on a power play, and then it's like, hey, we're all these guys are getting points tonight, but they're all going to be on the same goal.
That's all you need. One good goal.
Yeah,
one covers them all.
I agree. That's why Merle's marked me down too. I saw someone put in the chat, but I had it written down here. Burns 2 points. I've done this a couple times and it hasn't paid off, but I just think tonight with what Chief is talking about, the way I'm feeling as well, plus 430, Burns 2 points. They've got to get something going on the power play too. He's out there just welding pucks towards the net. He's getting them in the mixer, Merles. He's a big mixer guy.
I love
huge mixer guy. Yeah. he loves chucking them in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been. I mean, it's been that series. Did you guys stay up? Obviously, Merles. I don't know what time that was for you. The quad overtime game.
No, I ended up watching it in the morning. It was still going when I got up. I didn't realize it, but I rewatched them all in the morning from start to finish without checking my phone. So it was nuts.
You're a disciplined guy. But that game, it was like I can't believe it. I don't think I've ever seen a triple overtime game without a 2-on-1, without an odd man break. Like that game, that whole series has just been like a slog, a fight to get chances. And I feel like tonight it opens up a little bit, and we get goals, like I was saying.
If I had to pick a goal, I'm seeing it right now in the chat. Ross Samuels, Jarvis first goal. I don't know if I'd say Jarvis I'd pick Jarvis anytime goal. What's that at? I would even go first goal. I like Jarvis. I think he's been involved.
He's good on that power play.
He's good.
He had a ton of chances in game one. He had the big post. He had the other one that just kind of slipped underneath his stick on pass coming. I can't remember who fed the pass, but he had like had himself in good areas. So I think I like the Jarvis pick too.
Jarvis anytime is plus 210.
Take it.
That's
Lock it
good.
up. Yep.
Not bad.
I'm going to write that down too, bud.
Yep. Yeah, he's always sniffing around. He had a couple other chances. I feel like he could have won the game. I can't remember which one. They're all blending together from this weekend. It was overtime. But I feel like he had a couple chances to end it.
Yep. That was game one. Jarvis had a
one.
couple chances within. I think he had
Reinhardt.
one in the third, and then he had a couple. I think he hit the post in the first overtime. So
Yeah, Trey, I'm on that. I'm on the Cats now tonight, and then I have my point guys. I have Declare at plus 100, and I have Reinhardt minus 130 getting points. And then I'm going to try to shoot the moon on a goal scorer with Lundell plus 375. So I'm all in on the Canes. I'm liking 4-1 or the Cats 4-1.
do you think it's?
I'm going Cats. I'm going. I think they're going to take care of business real quickly here. I think
I'm
that was
glad
all
I'm
they
on
got.
the Canes in tonight if you're going Cats. I love that. The chat will be fired up tonight.
South Florida Vegas final has to be like the biggest party final of all time.
Oh, it'll be insane. It's just muscle shirts and like those little short swimming trunks. That's all you wear.
You guys got to get
Flip-flops.
the Penn Jet for that one. Just go
Down and back, the shuttle.
Hey, Dave,
shuttling back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that would be the ultimate setup. I think if you're just even a hockey fan, you want to go to the final. Like you look at any other time, it's like, yeah, you could win a trip to the final. Like any sweepstakes any company's ever done.
Yep.
If you win this year and it's those two teams, you're like living the dream. It's like pick your poison. What do you want?
One carry-on's the golf bag. You know that. Bag, yeah.
That's the only reason we're gonna have Witt. The only reason we're doing this trip is because Witts can golf both places.
Yeah.
Duclair, Verhage, Barkov line, just a nightmare to me against this Canes, against anyone. Duclair's been he's been whizzing around out there. He's a problem. He's so fast. He's been physical. He creates. The line's so dangerous. Tommy, I like that.
Blackhawks legend. We gave him away for nothing.
Oh, where's Singsy?
Another guy.
Where's Singsy? Singsy texts me, can't make it. His heart's broken. He can't believe he's not here with you guys today. He got called in for a meeting. So I'll relay that. He had to text me before the show. What a beauty. Singsy in the chat. What a legend. He's like the leader of the chat, actually. He's the president.
He's in the mixer. He's in the mixer.
Yeah, he's always in the mixer.
Yeah.
He is in the mixer, Jeep.
Gav Nason, half a point. Yeah, he's on the power play. He was sniffing around a lot last game too. I saw a lot of good chances from him.
This guy with the Dylan L with the Verhage anytime plus 150. I feel like he's involved in everything. Like that's never a bad. Getting him at plus money, it doesn't feel like a bad choice either.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I want to ask you this.
That last goal scorer.
Yeah, last goal. We never do that. We should start thinking about that. I know you like to live bet that though.
I live those and get the guys that are out there for the empty net. I did well with that.
Oh, that's smart.
That's a scam. You got to figure out who the coach plays those last 2 minutes.
And
then you got to get it in. You got to time it so you get it in before they shut it down.
Yeah, you got to do it right, like to score in the third period. It starts creeping down, and
wheel is going. It's got the clock countdown, and it's like, oh, we couldn't put your bet in. Jag.
I'm famous for that. It's awful.
Chief, I want to ask you too, just in watching this series, what do you think it's going to take for the Canes? Like, it's the mixer, yes. They're throwing the kitchen sink shots at. What's it going to take to get to Bob? What's it like? Biz has been like, you got to put it in upstairs. You got to get him upstairs. But even the Teravainen, like one touch backdoor blocker save he had, that should have been I don't know how he got that. It was an unbelievable save at a key moment in the game. But like, how do you get through to this guy?
I mean, I don't know. Run him. Like, I don't know. He's so locked in, and it's like I don't know what it is with him, but it's like when he decides I'm going to be the best goalie in the world, then he is. Like you saw it with the Vezina year with Columbus, and then it does feel like he kind of, I don't want to say he coasts in the regular season, but there are times where you can just tell like this guy he's on his game now, and it's like, well, good luck. So I don't know what you do the way he's playing now. That you're right. That one where he went, post to post and got the blocker on. It's like, well, if he's making saves like that, then we don't really have a chance.
He's done so many too with just his stick that kind of go unnoticed. He's so active with his stick, putting away little passes and stuff. And every time I see him, like, all right, he's not giving up a goalie. But like, what was wrong with this guy? He wasn't even their goalie to start the playoffs. Like, how has he turned it around?
You know what he is? He's got the pressure. He's got the 10 mil. He got put in a spot where he was embarrassed. Like they embarrassed him down the stretch. And good thing Lyon came on, but like, he had to fight to get back in there a little bit. I'm sure he was pissed. I'm sure it was like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm supposed to be the guy. And you got him like highly, highly motivated. Now he's confident. Now he's buzzing. So it's insane. The one thing I noticed, I don't know, watch for it. He doesn't like covering. He's not great at like covering pucks, either that or he doesn't want to your point, Merle's, about the stick. Like pucks will come into the mixer there and he doesn't want to overextend or reach and put himself out of position. He just wants to stay, but he'll just kind of bunt it with his stick like off to the sides and stuff. So Carolina can pray if they can time it correctly and get in on those little mixer bunt saves. Like he'll save them, he'll redirect saves really well, but like he doesn't want to like save them and cover them. You know what I mean? He wants to keep the play alive, it seems to me, all the time.
He's got all those meat D, too. Those meat D are in there pushing them all away, pushing the bodies away. Little guys like Jarvis don't want to go in there and deal with Gudas and Stahl and all these other guys. Ekblad's huge.
Yeah. Gudas is one of those guys that I feel like the internet just loves to like poke fun at and be like, this guy he can't skate, he's washed, and then it's playoff time. You're like, man, I wish we had a guy like that.
I know. Who doesn't on your team, Chief? Who in this in on the chat? Who doesn't want Gudas on their team right now?
Right now.
On your team, whatever your team is, who doesn't want him on your team?
I mean,
I don't know who.
It's one, and it's like one of those things where it's like, especially if I don't know what his contract situation is, but if I'm a Blackhawks fan, we got Bedard coming in. This guy's at the top of my list for free agencies this summer if he's available, because you just need guys like that he always stands up for his teammates. He's got like that. He's a villain. Like he's a bad boy, and you need bad boys come play out.
Yep. And you fear. He's out there. You have a little fear in your game. He's out there. You're always looking around. Where is he? I don't want to get caught.
Oh, and he looks like a guy. If he was born in Georgia, he'd be a fullback. He's just thick. He's got the big neck, the big beard. He's scary looking dude. So you need guys like that.
Yeah, he just is a menace. He just looks like a menace. Mark Stahl too. He's 36 years old. Just playing like recklessly out of his mind too, blocking shots, like defensively sound, reach out of this world like the rest of the Stahls. Tyler Zatro. Sabres could easily use a player like Gudas.
Sabres. Haven't had Sabres talk in a long time. They still got a team up there?
Well, if they get Patty Kane, they should go get Radko.
Jeez.
They should actually do both. I think that finally makes sense for Kane to Buffalo. People have been saying that to me for 12 years. Oh, Kane to Buffalo, Kane to Buffalo. And I think now it might actually make sense.
Lots of news, Chief, over the weekend, I guess, as well, with GMs and the GM search. Obviously, the Shanahan press conference was like unreal. Did you see that by chance? Or
I saw clips of it, and then I thought you guys, the Chicklets guys with Biz, did a great job breaking down like what do they even do this summer. It feels like they're kind of locked in, but maybe they should try to break it up because this formula, doesn't seem to work. And you might end up having to say that about Carolina in a way too, because it feels like they have like this conference final ceiling, like they can kind of, system wise, like outskate, outcheck people in the first round. But when it gets like, hey, we're the top teams, they just have a glass ceiling. They
don't have like the game breaker star power, right? And then at the deadline, it's like, what are they going to do? Of course, Pacioretty's injured, then came back, then injured again. He could have been a difference maker, but they go and get like Jesse Puljujärvi, and it's like he's not even playing.
Yeah.
So it's like, why didn't you go and try to like for once, Carolina, for once? make
sack
like
up.
a splash. Would you say sack up? Yeah, get it done. Like you got a good enough team.
And they have a big time farm system too. Like they got a lot of interesting young players that you could probably package together. Yeah, that's what you are. Be like, we're gonna have our playoff hopes hinge on a guy who needs a change of scenery. Like, not a great strategy if you ask.
Yeah, it's been interesting watching them because they've just been so consistently rock solid of a team. But you're right, to your point, they just haven't been able to get over the hump. Can they get it done tonight? We'll be keeping watch on that. Anything else, Merles, for Chiefy Weefy while we got him?
Gee, yeah. I didn't think you see. Was that a real clip of
Svetch is
Bedard
missing.
playing
That's
roller
true.
hockey?
Svetch is missing too. I should have mentioned
Svetch is big miss.
Yeah.
How could I forget about him? He's one of my
Was that a
favorite
real
players.
clip of Bedard playing roller hockey?
Yeah. So in my time hanging out with him, he plays. I went to this 3-on-3 league that he plays in every Sunday. He calls it church, and he just goes there with his boys, and it's like a real league. They pick teams evenly with all the guys, and he plays. And then he also plays in this hero roller hockey league at like another place down the road. And it's like he takes it super seriously. It's like, oh, I'd like to go play, And he's like, buddy, like this is serious. I'm like,
Hey, imagine showing up for your Saturday casual roller hockey game and you're just like buzzing around in warm-ups and you just look across, you're like, holy fuck, we're going against Connor Bedard today.
Like
you're that
I'm just
goalie.
trying to get a little sweat in. Like
Sweat off the beers from last night and you're going against the first overall pick.
Yeah, he loves roller hockey too. This guy's just a hockey rat. He loves it, man.
Is he going to be allowed to do that once he's signed? I don't remember us being able to do anything but play hockey.
Pat
if he got
Maroon
hurt.
did. I remember like right when they got knocked out of the Cup Finals last year, he was playing in a tournament.
I don't know if they're a little more at
different.
stake with
Little
Bedard than
different.
Patty Maroon at the end of his career, but I don't know.
Chief, what do you want with that?
Chief would go insane
Chief,
if
what do you
Bedard
want?
gets hurt in roller hockey
Lay a
over
rule
the
down.
summer.
Lay the Bedard rule down from Chief. I want to hear.
I want to like put him in my second bedroom and just wrap him in bubble wrap, and then I'll take him to and from practice. Like we'll just make sure he's extra safe at all times.
Oh, that's awesome. But here it is right here. Alex the boss. Bedard put up 55 points in 10 games in roller hockey. This guy.
It's those stories where it's like, yeah, like what does he do in his free time? Plays more hockey. Like that's just like it makes my heart like start racing. I love this kid so much. I cannot wait for October.
Yeah. Well, it's so fun to see how happy you are, Chiefy. Thanks for joining us. You're a beauty.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
Appreciate the
thanks for
picks.
coming
We'll
by.
have you in the Merle's blog coming out.
Yeah, blog's back on today.
And we'll have you on again, too. Awesome. Awesome guy.
See you
Thanks.
next, boys.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
Man, Chief just loves hockey, though. He loves hockey. Obviously, he loves his Blackhawks, but...
How can you not love hockey right now when you have Connor Bedard coming your way?
Yeah.
I'd just be so giddy over the sport, And think about how good the game has been to Chief.
Yeah.
He got Taze, he got Kane, he got the cups, and now once it's all over, he gets Bedard.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to go, though. Like even here for me in Pittsburgh on Chicklets, we were talking about what's Pittsburgh going to do. You have to go for it. You have these guys. You got to go for it still. And then what? You're going to be bad. Yeah, you're going to be brutal.
Tell that to a Coyotes fan.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the wrong memo on how to do it. Yeah, so it's like that's how it goes, and that's how the Penguins got good too. They stunk. They got Malkin, they got Crosby, they got Fleury, they got Stahl, they got Orpik, they got Whitney, they got me, Merles, they got all these guys. We had a wealth of prospects. We had tons of first round picks, all accumulating, and then you hit a jackpot with these generational talents to turn your organization around. Now you have a new rink here in Pittsburgh, a new downtown being built across the street where the old rink was. Like everything has changed because of one player, well, multiple players, but it's that's how it goes. That's the circle of life in the NHL, really. And if you can stay alive for as long as you can, like Detroit Red Wings, 25 years of making the playoffs and being like competitive and really good majority of those years.
Think about how much money that's creating for the community as well.
Oh, yeah.
Going to those playoff games every year, that's just funneling money into the community.
And I gotta say, it's been like in Pittsburgh this spring, just brutal without playoff hockey when you're used to it for pretty much the entire run of Crosby Malkin's career here and Letang here in Pittsburgh. It didn't happen this year, and the team that they failed to get in, the Florida Panthers, got their little claw in the door. They just and they just barge through, and they're just rabid. They're rabid. So it's been a heck of a run, boys. It's. Do you think like these series are over? Like, would you say Florida's Merles? I know you're on them tonight. Would you say?
I feel like that one is over. I don't think Dallas one is at all. I'll be on them tomorrow. Dallas will make that 2-1,
Yeah.
I think, and then
That's just the home and the road stuff,
like
right?
we always say, you don't lose. The series doesn't start till the home team loses a game. So I think that one's a lot different. I just feel like Carolina threw everything they had at that game too, and still somehow lost.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's it. But
One thing I got to get my
I've been
pick
wrong
in,
before.
boys. I
Yeah,
haven't,
we
haven't
need
given my
this.
pick for tonight's
Yes.
game, and I'm riding the hot hand. I'm riding first period unders. I believe Hurricanes are 10-3 on first period unders all season this year. I mean, in the playoffs this season. So I'm riding the first period under once again. I got so lucky last game with the
that was unbelievable.
with the 2 goals getting called back, and I'm sitting there with my friends who aren't really hockey fans that I was watching the game with, just going crazy over the goals getting called back. They're like, "Why do you care so much?" I'm like, "I got the under."
I was so rooting for you during that too, because that was crazy. Because you came on our group chat and you're like, "Oh my god, I did this again," and it's like reverse goal, and then time waning down. I'm like, "Oh my god, boom, G, you got it." That was unbelievable to
That was
follow
a
along
fun
with that
one.
one.
That was a fun one. That's the fun in gambling. So I'm riding it
That's
tonight.
electric. Back on it.
That's electric.
Ride the run.
Hey,
Ride
I
the
went
run.
on the website today, G, and I don't know. We might need to look into it. Those mixer shirts, they're ripping off the shelves, man. Like, is there any left in the Barstool store? I don't know. I think it's maxed out. So thank you. Thank you to everyone for jumping on the mixer train. Those are beauty.
There
Look
it
at those
is.
shirts. Oh my God, glorious.
Yeah, I'm going to need an XL for Vegas if we're
Yeah,
in
me
Florida.
too.
That'll look good on the beach in Florida.
You might have to get
rip
one
the
in
sleeves
black.
off.
You might have to get one in black for me, a little more slimming.
Yeah, we'll get the crew cut, the sleeveless one, ready to go for the
Down on the
trip.
beach, walking around.
Hell
That'll
yeah,
be great.
boys! Hell yeah, boys! So here we go. We're headed down to South Florida tonight. Game 3, Cats up 2-0. Amazing series so far. Super close. What's the draw? What's the line on the draw here tonight?
Plus
Merles.
300 again. Plus
They're
300.
not budging it at all.
I know, that's crazy. It's crazy. And Yandel called it. Yandel comes on and gives Yandel's 4-0 in the last round picks.
He's been
comes on and
incredible.
tells us bet draws, and we don't do it.
Yeah.
And the draws are named after you. Like, it's called
Yes,
the
it's
Murley Special.
that's how I got it in with Chicklets on my first ever trip. I said, let's
Yeah.
all bet the draw, and it hits. And I don't know what's going on with me. I'm an idiot.
4
I'm
in
an
a row,
idiot.
Merles. 4 in a row.
Yeah. When
We
does
did
this
have the one.
happen?
I did the one day. We did do it on the Barstool, and we boosted it up to plus 370. So everybody did well on that. So that was good. Maybe we'll do it
Mason
again
Valley
tonight.
says here, bro, tank mixer shirt?
Oh.
Question
Oh,
mark? Oh,
Yeah,
there
that's
you
what I
go.
need. Is that what it's called now? A bro tank, the tank tops. That's what I
Oh,
need.
yeah.
Is that what
Sleeves off, show off my
sleeveless?
melty
like Larry
arms.
the Cable Guy shirts.
But I do have an IHF pick I saw on there. An
Yeah.
IHF game going off in 30 minutes. Listen to this one. Austria versus Hungary. So this is a real
How do you
battle
know
of
this one?
yeah, it's a real battle of the teams. But Hungary's coach is Kevin Constantine. I've talked about him before as
Oh,
my
yeah.
coach. And
RPI guy.
so whoever loses this game is going to be relegated, most
Oh,
likely.
this is big.
All right. So it's basically like a game 7. So it goes into the EBR rules like a game 7. And I know Kevin as a defensive coach. He loves. We used to do shot blocking drills in practice. He had like 50 of those orange plastic pucks. He would bring on and just rip them at us, and we had to one knee block them. So they'll be all blocking shots. So I'm on under 5, and it's plus 112. So Austria, Hungary, IHF. That's my play for that under. I want no goals. I want a lot of one knee blocks.
So my brother played in Everett Silvertips, their inaugural
Mm-hmm.
season in the WHL. He was the head coach. They made it. They were like, it was like one of those like Golden Knights runs for the new team. They
Mm-hmm.
made it to the Western Hockey League finals and lost, but they did like a 1-4 forecheck, like Constantine special.
And he did this diamond like penalty kill where you just all stand like right in the mixer basically in a diamond and just eat
Block
shots.
shots, yeah.
You just eat shots. We're like,
That's what they
dude,
said.
we don't want to
That's
be
what my
doing this. I'm
brother-
38 years old. I don't want taking a shot in the face.
My brother came home in the summer and he'd be like telling me how you remember that trend when like Dan Girardi was just like eating pucks he said get big low. So you have to go down on the one knee and get massive low and just like turn your head and just like boom, just slappers off you from long range bombs.
Yep.
But that's what they did. The 1-4 check and get big low, blocking shots. That's hockey right there. That's defensive Constantine.
That's
hockey.
what the Leafs need. The Leafs need
Yeah.
him to come in for like a month training camp.
Look at this guy right here, Richard B., the diamond mixer.
Have you guys seen that video that's going viral right now around the internet of the kid that's just sitting in? It's like Happy Gilmore, but he's just sitting in front of the tennis ball machine in his like hockey helmet, just like blocking shots. He's like, gotta get ready for Torts next year, and he's just like blocking, he's like lining up blocking shots in the tennis ball machine. It's hilarious. I'll send it over you guys.
Well, it sounds like Torts is in the mix too to be making decisions in Philly. Was what Jonesy was saying, right? With Danny Briere and kind of their I guess what did Biz call it on Chicklets? He called it like the round table or whatever, like just kind of decision making table. They brought him in. It sounds like more for information. So are they going to get more? You know, he's going to have a say in the kind of players maybe that they want around there, right? And more Torts like players. So diamond mixer Torts tennis ball shot blocking training commence with the Philadelphia Flyers prospects. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. But so keep an eye on that Austria-Hungary game at Worlds. Hopefully Singsy will be back with us tomorrow. That coward had to step away into a meeting, a business meeting. Thank you, everyone in the chat, right, Merles? It's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Please hit subscribe on the Chicklets YouTube page. Get those numbers cranking. And hit that notification, too, so you know when we're popping on live in case you forget. Every day, 12 noon Eastern time, we're coming to you wherever you are. Anything else tomorrow?
Yeah,
I know
actually,
those
I'm
games
thinking-
are tomorrow. You got any other games tomorrow, Worlds?
Early, there's some early IHF tomorrow. It starts early. I'll be tweeting them out. I haven't dug into those. I spent all my time on Hungary today. Look, you got Canada, Czech tomorrow, Sweden, U.S. But a lot of these games won't really matter, so I'll have to wait and see how the standings look tomorrow. But I'll tweet them out. Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want the Canes because that'll be another day of game notes. The longer these series go, the more days of game notes daily we get.
Yeah.
So you can't have these both be sweep. Do you think if they both sweep, they'll move the finals up, or the finals dates are set in stone no matter what?
I've been told the finals dates are set in stone.
Even if it's two sweeps.
I hope
both
so,
rest
because
up?
the way I'm booking all these trips right now, I'm booking 4 trips in 4 different cities, and if the final states aren't set in stone, we are fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it'll be like the Super Bowl, you know, you get like a week and a half off, press and all that shit. They'll have more time. It'll be a big lead up, big build up.
But
you know,
I don't hate that. I know the guys hate that. They probably just want to get out there and play, but like it lets the stars get healthy, and then they can be at their best for the biggest stage. You know what I mean? Like all these guys are dealing with injuries. Like Kachuk supposedly with his hand, even though he looks like a stud out there. But 4 or 5 days, 6 days off, that'd be good for him.
They kind of did that in the conference finals here. Like I thought they would start on like the Monday, Tuesday a little bit, and they waited to the Thursday, Friday. So they got like 2-3 extra days. Now we're talking possible, 7 days or
That's
more.
a lot.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Dallas will keep it going.
These
though.
can't
Dallas-
go sweep, boys.
No,
Let's go
can't.
Canes.
Go Canes.
Let's go Canes tonight, and we'll see where it leads us tomorrow, and if we can find RA. I don't know where RA is.
If it does sweep, if Florida does sweep, we'll do some extra episodes with just RA and gloating about his Panthers future and his fandom. We can break it down for a quick episode.
He hasn't taken off his Rat King shirt in like 3 weeks right now. Ever since he almost got kicked out of the game, cheering against the Panthers at that Game 7 in Boston. I can't believe it. This is what they've done. The Cats are on a roll. Can they keep it going here tonight? Thanks, Merles. Thanks, Score Bet.
Thanks.
What do you
Score
got planned
Bet,
today?
share, subscribe. Thanks to everybody.
What do you got today, Merles?
What do you mean?
Tubby
now?
time and then game and then bedtime?
I think I'm out of Tubby time. It's my night to put her down, though. I'll put her down and then watch that Hungry game. Just root for no goals. Have a big bowl of ice cream and granola probably tonight.
All right, RA's out working on his jumper. Oh, my God.
And I planned on getting another run in tonight, but now I got the bad hip, so.
Well, you got to milk that, buddy. You got to really milk that.
Yeah.
So. But we'll be back tomorrow, 12 noon, everybody. RA's out picking up a suit for prom. Thank you to everyone in the chat. We love you guys. It's so fun interacting, isn't it, Merles?
Yeah, I love it. It's the
Yeah.
best. It's the best part of the whole show.
Yeah.
And,
So
and,
thanks.
and we've gotten a lot of winners from them, too. So
Yep. I
keep
love
it coming.
I love interacting. I love getting all our minds together. We come up with some pretty good stuff as a group. So let's keep it rolling. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the hockey tonight. Have a great day, everybody.
Hey-do.
Hey,